Municipal Land Borough River Edge. Tonight is March 4th, 2020. It's 7:29 p.m. And we have a flag salute, and I will ask Mr. Bartoloni to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I've been filling this up, Poppy. You would think I got this memorized by now. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board of Borough Hall, by email to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and by submission to all persons entitled to the same as provided by law. I would like to remind all members of the public, we have 3 fire exits, one in the back there, one behind me here, and one on the side over here. Hopefully we won't need those. And in addition, we are being recorded by both audio and video for purposes of creating a public record for the public portion of this meeting. If any member of the public wishes to be recorded or heard, they need only identify themselves by stating their full name and address for the record, and they can make their statement, and the cameras are back there, so I don't think there's much public here tonight. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Here.
Chairman?
Yes, here.
Mr. Bartoloni?
Here.
Mr. Merman?
Here.
Mr. Grosso?
Here.
Mr. Craig?
Here.
And Mr. Canigo is absent.
Mr. Canigo is excused.
And Mr. Caslin is absent, and Ms. Boland.
All 3 are excused, 2 have work, and
And,
Mr. Canigo had his death.
Okay.
Here.
And Mr. Esposito, of course.
And Mr. Gibbons is absent.
Mr. Gibbons is also excused, he had work tonight. Okay, so the first thing up is the memorialization of the resolution for NJ Property LLC, 297 Wales Avenue, Block 303, Lot 3. Board, if you remember the last meeting, there was a motion to accept, and it was voted down. And this is the resolution adopting that denial. Emails were sent out, and I know your picture is up. Do you have any comments?
I don't receive emails,
I know, but
but I have it. I just read it.
I just said you picked it up.
I picked it up.
Do you have any comments?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I'll start on the right. Al?
No comments.
Michael? Mayor?
I have none since I was not present.
Okay.
No comment. No comment.
Okay, excellent. And we welcome Mr. Esposito to the dais tonight.
Thank you. So you need a motion?
I do need a motion.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution as written.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A roll call, please.
Mr. Arkelian?
Yes.
Mr. Bartoloni?
Yes.
Mr. Merman?
Yes.
Mr. Grosso?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
And Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
One of the few dates that I don't have to look on my phone to see what it is, because today is my 31st wedding anniversary.
Wow. Good for you. And that's why you came early?
Get out, I want to watch Housewives.
My programs are coming on.
All right, so the procedure is here. We have 2 applications for this evening. I'm going to call one at a time. You're going to come up, and we're just going to discuss the completeness of your application. You'll go back to your seats, and then we'll call you up for your hearing. All right, so first up is Michael and Catherine Monopoly, 700 Millbrook Road, Block 305, Lot 39. They're looking for a proposed deck and a porch, which requires lot coverage, front yard setback, and fence height variances. Come on up, folks. How are you tonight? If you want to grab another chair over there, you're welcome to. Thank you. Matter of fact, grab 2.
There are sales.
If it's inconvenient, you also move the rolling chair out, however you want it to move.
No.
Yep.
Well, actually,
Okay, why don't you give us a brief description of what you're looking to accomplish this evening?
Sure, thanks. My name is Brian Callahan. I'm an architect. I prepared the plans for the application. And we are looking for some variance to meet for
Yeah,
front yard
actually I have
setback.
extras.
No, it's easier to share.
Okay. So,
So we're looking to construct a new covered porch on the front of the house on Millbrook Road extend the existing deck 4 feet
Mhm.
into the, towards Continental Ave. This is a corner lot.
Mhm.
So we're seeking variances for the front yard setbacks, and also just mostly because of what's existing there, we also have a improved lot coverage variance that we'll be seeking as well.
And fence height?
Fence height is 4 feet.
So are you're installing a new fence as well?
I have to, yeah.
Okay,
That's also part of the application.
okay. Thomas?
We've heard the extent of the variance relief being requested. We have a survey, we have the plans, a complete application, so we can...
Is his name Thomas?
Yes.
Hello, Thomas. Our planner's name is also Thomas.
And prior to the meeting, I looked through all the proof, everything is there, so the board has jurisdiction.
Very good. Motion to accept this as complete?
So made.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Arkelian?
Yes.
Mr. Merman?
Yes.
Mr. Bartoloni?
Yes.
Mr. Grasso?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
And Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Next up is Mr. Mark Niederoff. Did I say that right? Okay. 268 Johnson Avenue, Block 506, Lot 27. And he's looking to construct...
Wrong president.
Didn't I say that, Jeff?
You said Johnson. We looked a lot alike.
My dyslexia is kicking in.
Too young, 200 years.
Block 506, Lot 27, he's looking to construct a shed in the rear yard, he needs lot coverage relief. So why don't you tell us a little bit what you're planning on doing? It happens in my home too.
I'm Mary Niger. No, we had decided beforehand, well, we're seeking to construct a 8x12 shed in the rear corner of our backyard so that we can move our car into the garage. The garage will hold either the car or all of our home maintenance stuff that's inside the garage.
Okay, Tom?
It is that straightforward. I believe we have a complete application, the board can determine it to be complete.
And I also reviewed all the proofs given and all the mailings were sent out, so the board has jurisdiction over the application.
Very good, can I have a motion to accept this as complete?
You got it.
Second? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Bartoloni?
Yes.
Mr. Merman?
Yes.
Mr. Grasso?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
And Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Very good, we'll call you in a few minutes. Okay, we're ready for the monopolies again. And again, as a reminder, it's 700 Millbrook Road, Block 305, Lot 39. You want to take care of your business first?
Yep, so, can you raise your right hand? It's Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
do you have,
might as well get everybody.
okay, we can do it at the same time. Everyone will be giving testimony, so you can please just state your name for the record.
Brian Callahan,
And then-
Callahan.
Okay, and then,
Catherine Monopoly,
and your address, please?
700 Millbrook.
Michael Monopoly? I'm also 700 Millbrook.
Okay, and then if you could just raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And then, just for the expert, could you please provide the board with your background in education and experience?
Sure, I have a Bachelor of Science in Architectural Studies from the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have a Master of Architecture degree from the University of Houston in Houston, Texas. I've been a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey since 1997, and I've been current
Have you ever presented before this board?
I have.
Okay, great. Does the board-
Sounds good to me. Everybody? Okay. Proceed.
Thank you, sir. So we are, property we're talking about is at 700 Millbrook Road. It is pre-existing non-conforming in a couple of conditions. It is 70 feet wide, where 75 feet is the minimum required width. It's also 7,000 square feet in area, where 7,500 is the minimum lot area. Currently, there's a single-family dwelling on the property. The property is also sloped from High Point being Millbrook Road, and as you get towards the rear yard, it slopes toward, gets lower and lower, to the point where the existing deck, I'm again referring to the plans that were submitted, A1 sheet has a site plan and a site diagram on it. And you can see the existing deck in the rear of the house. That deck is about 1 story above grade. It's about a walkout basement. So what we're proposing here is a open covered porch at the front door to provide sort of the safer condition at the front door where ice and snow can build up. So we're trying to keep a dry covered area there, as well as to aesthetically give some enhancement to the house. The deck in the back, since it is a story above grade, we're trying to find a way to get stairs to the grade. And rather than having something that would be into the backyard, which would require more stair, we'd like to extend the deck and bring that stair towards Millbrook Road. So when you came out of the back of the house, you would kind of do a 180 and you would create a walkway that connects these two projects, the covered porch and the Currently, the front yard setback, since it is a corner lot, we have 2 required front yard setbacks. So Continental Avenue is currently, the way the house is situated, is pre-existing non-conforming 29.2 feet, where 30 feet is required. We'd be asking for 4 feet of relief. We'd be at 25.2 for that deck extension. In the front yard along Millbrook, we have we're proposing a 7-foot deep covered porch, which would result in a 27.4 foot front yard setback on Millbrook. Part of where those stairs come down and connect to the new side walkway, we are trying to create a dog run. And there would be a proposed 4-foot high fence that indicating on the site diagram as well as the A2 sheet shows a 24-foot by a little more than 28-foot fenced-in area that would allow the owners to sort of let the dogs out onto the deck and down to the side yard, which is really fun.
Is there a variance required for that dog run fence or not?
I believe the maximum height of the fence allowed is 3 feet.
Okay, you're proposing 4?
And would be open, visually open.
Yes, I give a sample of the type of fence I was looking for, so it would look aesthetically correct, nice to the neighborhood and not,
Right.
I just have to keep my, my dog safe, and I'm afraid the 3-foot one would be able to jump over and he depends on putting maybe some bushes along our side, to our side of the fence also,
Right.
To just keep the barrier there. A lot of people walk that way too, so, they walk down Continental Avenue to the park and stuff, so the dogs would be like barking and, walking over this. That's why I wanted it a little bit higher.
Are these large dogs?
No, not really. I mean, not, one is like a little, Dachshund Terrier, another one's a Boxer Lab.
And the other one's a little bit.
Yeah, but they're mutts,
Yeah.
so the other one is 50 pounds and one is, 14 pounds. It's not like it's a big,
So a 4-foot fence would contain them?
correct.
And what's the deck going to be made of? Trex? And what would be underneath the deck? Just yard?
Hardcore already,
Yeah, it's a concrete pad right now.
Okay,
already there.
okay. Is that you finished?
I think that's about it.
Tom? Not Dad.
I guess I just have a few questions and clarifications for Glenn. So is it the case that the existing shed is going to be removed and replaced?
Yes.
So the existing shed getting rid of another one? In terms of the improved lot coverage, you're going up about 400 square feet. Can you just explain to the board where that's coming from? Obviously, there's the new area of stairs, and I guess part of the deck, and some of the porch. I mean, is that what equates to 400 square feet?
Yes.
Bear with me while
And
I-
the shed, right? I mean,
Is it true that the front porch is going to replace an area that's already covered in impervious coverage?
Yeah,
I see an open porch and
Yeah.
pavers.
pavers now are
And I,
covered.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like the side walkway will be expanded a little bit.
Right.
Again, you're expanding the deck to allow for a stairway
Inside.
down,
Mhm.
essentially.
Flush with the house now.
Correct. And by virtue of being a corner lot and the position of the house, there's a front yard setback situation. In order for the board to grant the variance, there's two tests or justifications that an applicant can give. One is what's called the physical features test, the C1 variance test, has to do with hardships of the property, whether or not the variance is being generated have to do with either the shape of the property, the size of the property, whether or not there's any topographical issues. And the other test is called the public benefits test, and that is the granting of the variance will generate public benefits that outweigh detriments, that there's no substantial detriment to the public good, no negative impacts essentially, and that there would be no impairment to the intent and purpose of the master plan and zoning ordinance. So in that essence, or to that end, we understand what your needs are. Could you talk a little bit about what the benefits of this would be, or why there are some extenuating circumstances
Sure.
that are genuine?
The first, you mentioned was the C1, or, so that speaks to the shape of the property. So really, we have a non-conforming width, and that is directly impacting the amount of space that we have on the south side of the property. If we had 75 feet and it was a conforming lot, we wouldn't have that Continental Avenue front yard variance. As far as benefit, I think, obviously, I think it's a safer condition now to have an exit from the back of the house. Right now, currently, the back of the house, at the first floor level, you come out onto the deck, and there's no egress to grade from the deck, so we'd be providing that, which I think makes a safer condition. And as I mentioned before, I think providing some cover at the front door also provides a safer condition to entry to the house.
So part of the variance has to do with the location of your stairway.
Yeah.
And can you, again, just provide some justification as to why that's a better location than a conforming location? Meaning, I guess, essentially the rear of the house is to the left of the deck. Again, why is this a better situation?
I guess it has to also do with the topography. Just anywhere back there would mean a longer run of stairs, which would probably require a platform and some kind of turn, and probably even more stairs. So I think it'd be more building and more additional lot coverage, etc.
And with respect to the fence, in order to have a conforming fence, essentially it would have to run from the back corner of the house east toward the park. Is that something that you'd consider, or something that would work? I guess essentially, the board needs something in order to approve the fence variance in that particular location. So 3 feet's allowed, 4 feet's proposed. One question would be, what's the impact? You provided an explanation that it's an open fence, so visually there might be some mitigation there. If you were to say that maybe there's really not enough space back there because the house is tucked into the corner of the lot, and the topography is such that it's
This is where
very conditioned.
This is where the stair sort of lands you at grade, kind of, so it seemed to make the most sense.
So it's a function of where the stairs is.
That would be my estimate, yeah.
And what's going on under the deck again? Is that an area for car parking or storage or both?
It is, there's currently a concrete slab and it's a carport type.
Is there enough room for car and storage? Or only car? I ask because part of the variance has to do with improved lot coverage and you're asking for a shed. Granted, you have a shed. I'm wondering if maybe, whether or not the board thinks it's necessary, if some things can be stored under the deck and moved.
2 quarts of milk.
Your answer could be no, I'm just trying to see what's going on there dimensionally.
And it's all open too, so I don't know how
Yeah.
appropriate it is
Well,
for storage, it's not, nothing's,
That would be like Canterbury Farm.
nothing's gone.
So, I mean, I guess at this point, I would ask if the board has any questions about testimony.
All right, so I will start with Mr. Bartoloni.
Just so basically the variance is needed, Tom, maybe you can answer it. The variance is,
So,
because it's Continental Avenue and it's treated as, even though it's their backyard,
correct.
it's front yard because,
It's a corner.
yeah, because it's a corner, for no other reason.
Yeah,
And the fence does not extend into the front of the house, correct? Okay. I'm familiar with the property, and I walk past there all the time, so, yeah.
You understand that?
If you hear mine. so.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Gray?
Yeah, a couple of questions. Just so I understand, right now, there's a frame shed, a wood ramp, and then some pavers adjacent to the existing deck. That's all going away? And then, no, not in front.
Yeah. The shed, yeah, we're moving the shed, yeah.
You move the shed, but there's also...
A new shed.
Yeah, but it seems to be showing that the pavers are going away also, and then there's the concrete slab would stay.
The pavers are in the front.
If you look at the survey sheet, that is...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's the door, the back door, the back door there, that's right, that's what you're talking about, yeah.
So
that's
that's,
just a back door there, just a slab.
okay, so those pavers are staying. Okay, because it's kind of, the dash line kind of indicates that was going away, so it's not.
There is a small bit of hardscape that would still connect the rear basement door to the concrete under the deck.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, so that, the drawing kind of indicates that was going to be removed, but it's not. The one question I had, I mean, obviously, you know, we want to try to minimize the coverage issues as much as possible. The stairway comes up to the back deck and then you've extended the deck over. Is there any potential to kind of bring the stairway up to the deck but not extend the deck in front of it? So that you'd be minimizing the amount of additional coverage that you need?
Well, right now the deck is flush with the house,
I understand.
so I would need at least a platform's depth to be able to then make a left on
Right.
the deck, which leaves the corner sort of hanging out in space that would need a post under it that would interfere with that carport. So what I was trying to do is span that macadam drive on the west side, east side.
One of the nice things about the Trex, I've noticed, as I have it myself, but on other people's homes, the wood decks, they tend to tie very tightly together, and it causes runoff, where the Trex has these little spaces in between each board, and I see the water goes down and empties out right below it, so you're not creating a water issue for your neighbor. So they're much better as far as water issues are concerned.
And right now the macadam drive comes up flush with the line of the deck, and then the concrete starts at this road. Okay.
Sarah?
Yes, just one question, Chairman. Will there still be two driveways after the addition? Will there be one on Millbrook and one on
Continental?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
who owns the house? What's your last name?
Ian.
Okay, that's why it says me and Miss, all right. I thought maybe the architect,
Yeah,
all right.
we live on Surrey Lane.
No, that's fine, because there's a difference between the applicant and the drawing. Okay.
That's why I dragged him out.
I saw him today. Okay. Just to follow up on that shed question. Your survey that was done back in 2016 shows a frame shed behind the corner of the house, the left corner. Is that going to stay?
No.
No. So that's being removed. You're proposing to remove that and replace it with the new one. So there'll only be one shed, and it'll be a new shed, okay. All right. For the record, I note that your coverage percentage above the allowable 35% exceeds the 35 by almost 10%, 9.3. However, for the record, it's a substandard lot in the fact that it's not 7,500 square feet, you only have 70, so that's going to bump your percentages, the numbers. It's going to distort them. I think we should take that into account. The other thing, did you make a statement that there were going to be bushes along the fence?
We were thinking about maybe just, so it wasn't completely, the black fence that I gave you,
Mm-hmm.
maybe trying to put some shrubbery, on the bottom. If
Okay.
that's allowed,
And the shrubbery would be located on
my
what,
side.
on the
On
inside?
On the inside.
Okay,
Right,
all right.
on the inside.
Okay. Following along with that, your drawing shows the fence is basically on the property line, the continental side, right there. I think it should be pulled back a little bit, particularly more so for safety. All right. We all know the foot traffic there is big. So if we could pull that fence off the property line another foot or so, I think would be a benefit.
Let's just hear from the architect, make sure that that works for you.
Yeah, I think that would still give them what they're looking for.
Yeah. And I will note that the fence, when I look at the drawing, will not impair the sight distance at the corner, the traffic corner, which is good. Okay. All right. I think, and it's going to be a 4 foot high fence, metal open, you stated? Okay. Those are the only comments I have, Mr. Chairman.
Mayor?
So I came by the house on Sunday, and I noticed a commercial vehicle parked in the driveway. Is the commercial vehicle compliant with our rules about commercial vehicles on residential properties? For instance, is it there all the time? Is there every night? So is it compliant with commercial vehicles in the town?
25 years on Surrey Lane.
I was on Surrey Lane whenever.
Okay. One of the reasons it took special note to me is because the incline at which it was, it couldn't get underneath the deck.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember exactly, but I thought the back of the commercial van was pretty much at the edge of the driveway.
Well, no, I usually pull in and my son pulls behind me.
Yeah, so my-
Oh, it does.
There's 2 cars there.
Because if you extend the deck,
Yes.
you're now extending into the angle, which is going to push the van back, and you can't park on the sidewalk.
No.
No.
The back part of the van cannot be on the sidewalk.
There's enough
Have you
room.
considered that?
And my son can pull underneath, and then I'll pull.
he leaves before me, so we'd have to do a little scramble with the car and all that, so.
Oh, Mayor, your point, I'll ask the architect, do you happen to know the clearance by any chance? Or an estimation from the bottom of the deck to the pavement? I don't mean to pick up spot.
But when you pull all the way
There's,
in.
on the south elevation,
Still not off the driveway, and
yeah,
then it's out.
the aggregate.
Yeah, but now you're
And now
gonna
we're
be
gonna
pushing
go back.
back,
But now
and
we're
as
going
you push back, depending on the grade,
Right.
it might decrease it, and so therefore, right now, I notice some of the van is underneath,
Yeah,
but that may not be possible at all now.
right, exactly.
This is
So now
my
we
question.
should have our son pull in front of the van, underneath the carport, and then might go.
Yeah, because you can never block the sidewalk.
Right, we never do block the
Yeah.
sidewalk, just, we're very conscious of that, actually, my father's very conscious of that.
Yeah, the plan scale is a little more than 7 foot clearance, I think that's about right.
So at its new position, there is 7 feet from the macadam.
Approximately, but I can't testify exactly within inches because I don't have the.
Because that was my concern.
Yeah, understood.
So I'm sorry, just Esposito.
Yes, I mean, I'm looking at the diagram and from what everybody's speaking to and I'm speaking to, I think we're okay. There's one other shed that I think is going to be taken apart, so that'll be gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Right, and everything else seems okay.
The lot coverage is up because of the fact that the property is undersized. And the percentage, the 38% lot coverage is not something that this board has really frowned upon. So that's something to take into consideration. And I think what they're doing is beautifying the property, particularly the front. I love the front porches that are coming into town. We get a lot of those applications now, and I think it adds a lot of character, right?
I think it's the same for my father. Right now, there's no railing there.
Mhm.
There's a pole there that he holds on to try to get down. Right now, it's very dangerous. And he never goes out when it's snowing or he can't. So I was just thinking with the porch cover, he could, it would be a safety thing for him also.
I would love for my new friend Tom to be able to get in and out with me. Are there any more questions from the people on the board? Tom, you have any last questions?
Not really at this point. I will note that the front porch is open. It doesn't have any railings, so projection might be less impactful visually. And we usually stipulate that 50 cars.
The applicant have anything else left to say? I'll take a motion to open to the public.
So me.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? There's opportunity for anybody in the public to speak on this application. And seeing no hands raised, I'll take a motion to close to the public.
So moved. Second.
Second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, at this point, I will accept a motion on this application.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna make it, huh?
Well, you're pretty good at it.
All right, I'll make a motion that the board accept the application with the proposed lot coverage and the setbacks and the new fence height of 4 feet, with the understanding that the fence will be set on continental property line 1 foot away from the property line.
Got that?
Yes, and also a condition to keep the porch open. Okay.
Fine, yes,
Is that okay with
Yes.
the applicant?
the porch will not be
Oh,
enclosed.
okay, that's what we.
So those are going to be conditions in the resolution.
Correct.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bartoloni, is a second. And when you are ready. Take a roll call.
Okay, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Bartoloni,
Yes.
Mr. Merman,
Yes.
Mr. Grasso,
Yes.
Mr. Craig,
Yes.
and Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Folks, congratulations.
Yes.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Construction.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, sir. Okay, next up, Nightoff. Mark Nightoff, 268 Jefferson Avenue.
Yep.
Block 506, lot 27, and they're looking just to construct a shed. Good evening, folks, how are you?
And so before we get started, no need to stand. You can just raise your right hand, please. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. And could you just please state your full name for the record?
My name is Mary, M-E-R-R-I, Nightoff.
My name is Mark Nightoff.
Okay, proceed. Don't be nervous.
So, a little nervous. So, anyway, we're married, Mark Nightoff. We moved into our home 38 years ago last month. Raised our family here. We are currently asking for a variance in order to construct an 8 by 12 wooden storage shed in the corner, the northeast corner of our backyard, so that we can use our garage, which currently is holding all of our house and lawn maintenance things, for our car. We recently purchased an electric car that charges on the 240 volt line. We have installed the 240 volt outlet in our garage, and it was permitted and inspected and approved by the town. We did that last summer. Currently, we can't get the car into the garage, so we're charging the car, attaching the charging cord, running it through the garage to the car, which is not optimal. Our letter of non-compliance said that our shed would increase the improved lot coverage to 39.8%. Mark, who is an engineer by training, a science teacher by profession, calculated that the shed, which is 96 square feet, would cover actually 1.2% of our total property. So we believe that means that there's a pre-existing improved lot coverage of about 38.6%, pre-existing non-conformance, and the shed would add 1.2% to that coverage. So the shed itself is not adding 4.8% to the coverage. As I said, we have all of our snow blower, our wheelbarrow, all of our gardening tools, our bags of mulch to keep moss because we do garden, our hoses, ladders, our sawhorses, and in the winter we store our patio furniture and our umbrella there, our furniture coverage. And it's the typical 10 by 14 foot garage, so it will just fit our car without all of that stuff in there. The shed is going to be a wooden shed. It's going to be painted to match our house, so it will be aesthetically pleasing. It's not going to have water line. It's not going to have electricity. We're not even going to have light in it. We're just getting natural light from the window and from the door. It's it's not in the middle of our yard, it's just gonna be in the corner of our yard. It's going to be on a permeable gravel bed, installed, which we had done. Hoping that we didn't realize there was gonna be a problem with the shed. So, we don't have the shed there, but we do have the gravel foundation. So there shouldn't be any drainage issue, we do believe that charging the car outside is not only an inconvenience, but it's a safety issue. We've been very lucky this year. We haven't had snow, we haven't had rain, we haven't had ice. And in addition to the electricity, I've tripped over the cord. So it is,
Safety issue.
Definitely a safety issue. And I think that's it.
Tom, before I go to you, I just have to ask this question. Are you an engineer or an architect, or your testimony was
Thank you.
pretty professional?
In its former life, and I mean really former, like 35 years ago, I was a lawyer.
Okay, I knew there had to be something.
There you go.
Tom?
Right from the Niners, the proposal is for a shed, an increase of 96 square feet. As far as I'm aware, it has conforming setbacks of 4 feet. Height will be conforming, and part of the justification is so that they can park their car in the garage, which is where cars are supposed to be parked, as it turns out. And to some degree, I mean, it's a developed site. There are no other improvements that are being proposed. So the test I would apply here would be to see two public benefits versus detriments test. One benefit could potentially be having an additional car parked in the garage and things not stored outside, but could actually be kept somewhere, an aesthetically pleasing shed. And, the question would be, what would the impact be of 96 additional square feet relative to this lot? And this
De minimis.
This part of it. What's that?
De minimis.
It could be perceived as such. It's certainly up to the board. I don't think you would even see the shed really from the street. I'm just looking at the sort of the street image. I'm not sure how much of the shed you would even see from the front of the house. Again, apparently it's going to be, visually pleasing and so forth. So again, it is that question of benefits versus detriments. If there are many detriments, but there's some benefits, I think it's up to the board, but it is, the application.
Mr. Bartoloni?
No, I have nothing.
Mr. Press? Greg?
No.
Press. Mr. Merriman?
A couple of quick questions. Tom, what's setback
First shed,
for a shed?
4 feet.
It is 4 feet.
From rear and side.
Okay, all right, so it conforms to that. Just quickly looking at your numbers, let me go over some of the lot coverage. The current coverage, as was noted, is over the allowable 35, and that's over by about 10%. And if we go from the 35 by statute to the proposed, it's almost 14%. However, the differential in percentage increase from the 38.6, which is there now, to the 39.8, which is the difference between the current condition and the proposed condition, is roughly 3%, is what you're looking at. So there's a nonconformance there now, and they're only looking to increase it by roughly 3%. I think that's the only point I have. You're not touching any fences or anything? No. Okay, so the only change is a new shed proposed. Okay.
Mayor?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Esposito?
I'm okay.
I think they've addressed the points. I mean, they mentioned that it's going to be painted, the shed, and look similar to the house, so it's not gonna be a detriment, and I think they have a hardship with the car parking and everything else, so, like Tom mentioned, that's satisfied, so I think everything's good.
See, it kind of sounded like my garage when you explained it. Also, Tom touched on it, but we didn't get exactly there. With the car being able to be parked in the driveway, that takes another spot that they make available for the house, to take another car off if they have to, out of the street. So that's certainly an inherited benefit to the borough. If nobody has anything else, I'll take a motion to open the public.
So made.
The second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstain? There's nobody in the public, so we're gonna ask to close the public. The second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstain? Okay, at this point, I'll take a motion on this application.
I'll make a motion that the board approve the application, which requests a increase in the lot coverage by roughly 3% from what it is currently.
Have a second?
Second.
Mr. Esposito? You're getting good at that. And a roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Bartoloni,
Yes.
Mr. Merman,
Yes.
Mr. Grasso,
Yes.
Mr. Craig,
Yes.
and Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Folks, congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new shed and your parking space.
And your electric car.
It looks like this is a he shed rather than a she shed. Is that it?
Yeah, well, you gotta upgrade your electrical service, your panel.
How many houses don't have cars in their garage right now?
Yeah,
Everybody that gets an electric car is in
I mean, it's tough to,
Well, you also,
I couldn't fit a car in my garage.
I get the car in, but I can't get out of the car once I
well,
get the car
that's what I
in.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't open the doors, I don't know.
So, real quick, we have two standing committees. One is for, what is it, signs, right?
Yep.
So, and I think the mayor's on that.
There you go. I thought it was on both of them.
You're automatically on board.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Esposito, would you like to join the sign subcommittee?
Sure.
This way you have a little extra to do.
Sure.
I think it's gonna get a little quiet after our next meeting. And, so that's good. And next, we have, two applications for the next meeting that are pending. One is for a new pizza place where it looks like one of the zones was. So he's coming in for a food license, site plan review, of course.
Oh, all right.
And secondly is, Regova has been, it looks like it's changing hands, so they'll be coming in for a site plan review as well.
Who's changing hands?
Regova, Denalo's,
Oh, Denalo's.
I just keep going backwards to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Corky's Corner. No, Corky's was the other one, actually.
No.
So they'll be coming in for site plan review.
Was that for, they're coming in for the food handler's license, or is there?
Well, it's coming in for a food
Operator,
handler's
yeah.
license, but it automatically triggers a site plan review. So they'll have to come in with a site plan and so forth.
Look like an English.
If you remember, probably about 2 years ago, we
Yep.
gave them an approval for relief of the parking, because they needed it. So we had said that if there were any complaints, they would have to come back. I checked with the borough building department, there were no complaints lodged by any of the neighbors. So, but they have undersized parking, so it'll be an issue that comes up at the next meeting as well. But from what I understand, it's a challenge site over there, so it is what it is.
Actually, the last time they went, they removed a canopy in the back.
They did, and it's still not there.
And put parking in there for
Mhm.
employees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming up. That'll be on.
Thank you.
I didn't hear you.
Institutional memory, that's great.
Well, that shed always bothered me.
No, I knew that, yeah, I remember when that was taken away. So that'll be on for the next meeting, and then, as of right now, there's no further applications, so if our attorney will draw up the resolutions quickly, we can get stuff done pretty quick. I appreciate everybody's time tonight, a lot earlier than last time. Again, thank you, everybody, for indulging me the last meeting to get that, the final thing done and get the township housing approved, the housing plan approved.
Do we have a resolution for that tonight?
She'll have it the next
No.
meeting.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm just,
And on that note, if nobody else,
No, I just remember something. The ordinance committee is not you.
I was on the committee that.
No, you're the secretary. You're the new board secretary, yeah. Okay.
Right, but there was a
Got it.
committee that was being
No,
formed
right,
that had to do
no.
with,
Yeah, I'll talk to her the next time. All right.
Yeah,
I was on with Eileen.
Yeah,
Eileen,
Eileen.
yes, that's on coverage.
Right.
No, she was gonna look at a bunch of ordinances,
Yep.
including fences, retaining walls, fences on.
And coverage.
And coverage, and
Has that committee met yet?
I don't believe they have, no, but I will speak to her. I'm probably gonna see her over the weekend. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
So.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Good.
how can you vote against?
By the way.
Yeah, you also.
I'm at the boroughs.